Yeah, people of God, you are welcome to today's video, and I'm so happy to have you here with me. Thank you so much for joining me. As you know that on this channel, what we do is to search for cheap means to study abroad and migrate abroad. Today, I've come again with one of the very cheapest means of traveling abroad, and that is the vocational schools. And today, we are going to be focusing on the Vamia vocational school. This video promises to be very detailed. So take your time, relax and enjoy it. So vocational schools are higher institutions which teaches vocational skills which can be applicable to vocational real life applications. So example of vocational skills include cosmetology and fashion design, waiter, machinist, cooking as in or cook, and then plate welding and so on and so forth like that. Examples of vocational schools include Riveria, Vamia Vocational School, Edu Sampo, Saski College, Step Kulutus, Taito Kulutus, Win Nova, Osao, Tampering 80, and so on like that. So there are many of them that are actually operating in Finland and some other countries like that. But they are really popular in Finland, and they uh, they take international students. They take international students into their country. So when they admit international students like that, that international student can then go to the embassy to apply for resident permit. So to resident permit. So in the Vamia vocational school that we are focusing on today, the following are the vocational skills that are available there. They have waiter, cook, machinist, and plate welding. Any of those four skills are available there at the moment, and you can decide to apply for any of them when they are open. I would like you to sit back and continue to enjoy this video so that you can really understand how to apply to this school. So the very first thing that we have to talk about is why are we really talking about it? Like I have said initially, vocational schools can admit international students. And when they admit international students, the international student can go and apply for resident permit and use it to migrate to Finland. And a lot of people are silently using it. And it is one of the cheapest way to migrate to Finland as we speak at the moment. As you follow me in this video, you are going to really understand why I said it is one of the cheapest means to migrate to Finland at the moment. So in this video, if you check the description of this video, you are going to see the requirement for resident permits, migration, and all. I'm still going to get to where I'm going to talk about that. So, one beautiful advantage of vocational schools in Finland, in particular, is that they don't have application fee. Another very beautiful advantage is that they don't have school fees, no tuition. So that simply means that once they admit you to this school, you don't have to worry about any payment of tuition. The only thing you should be concerned about is your um, cost of living. Cost of living, that is your proof of fund to survive over there. That is the only thing you should be worried about. But school fees, they don't charge school fees. That's another very beautiful advantage. Even universities and others in Finland and most European countries, they usually charge tuition fee. And that has been a barrier for many people. So now vocational school is here. They don't charge tuition fee, and that is why you should pay attention to them. And that is even one of the reasons why I'm talking about them. No tuition, application is free, and once they pick you, you can apply for resident permit and use it to migrate to Finland. That's excellent, and not so many programs have that kind of advantages combined together. So now points to note when applying to Vamia. There are some points you have to know. So let's go through them one after the other. Applicant scoring model is not disclosed. So how they score their applicants is not disclosed to people. They are the only one that know it. So you don't really know what they prioritize and what they don't prioritize. But don't worry, as we go along in this video, I'll give you one hint of one thing that I am so sure that is part of their scoring model. Number two here is that Vamia does not assist or guide in application. So if you want to apply, they cannot assist you and they cannot guide you. They're the one that is going to do all the application and everything by yourself once the application is open. So, and then applications can only be submitted during the application period. You cannot submit application when the application is closed. And then, so it is during that period when the application is open. That is when the application form will be available. So now, once the application form is closed, you will not be able to access the application form again. So now, general entry requirements at Vamia. What are the requirements to be able to enter Vamia? So all applicants must have the right qualification for studying in their chosen field and for completing a degree. So you must meet up all the requirements for that degree and you must have the right qualification to be able to study in that degree. So most of the time the requirements are just the basic education like secondary school education and stuff like that, that qualifies to be able to start an advanced study. And if you already have an advanced study already, you can still go for it. You get the point there. So that's number one. Then the next one here is that you must have education need. Like you must really be hungry for the education, and then you must be motivated to study. You must demonstrate motivation. That you are really motivated to study, and then you must be suitable for the task in the field. If you understand that, you must be suitable for the task you are trying to apply for. It must be something that you are capable of doing. So if you are applying for cooking, that means you must be suitable by because there's still going to be a lot of tests and medical tests and then physical interview during virtual interview where they will assess you. So you must be fit for to be able to 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 pass the evaluation during the interview. And then you must meet up with the health requirements, especially for those that will be working in restaurants as cook and stuff like that related to that. You are going to even be subjected to salmonella tests and a lot of other health tests like that, which you must pass. Then you must have sufficient language proficiency. Now, this language proficiency is very, very important. And that is where I was talking about the other time that I'm still going to hint you about something that helps in their that's something that we at least have an information about that they use in their evaluation to select which candidate is going to be the best candidate and stuff like that. That is not the only thing they use, it's one major thing that they use. So they have English language requirements for courses that are taught in English. Because I think they have some other courses that are not taught in English. But for those that are in English, you must demonstrate your English proficiency for them. So now to be able to demonstrate English proficiency, they have specific requirements for the English language vocational qualification programs, which you must meet as an applicant. So because they take in applicants from all nations, irrespective of whether you are from Francophone or Anglophone country, really none of their business. But irrespective of where you are coming from, either your country is Anglophone or it's not Anglophone country, you must demonstrate your proficiency in English. They don't want to know that you're coming from an English country or not. You have to demonstrate your proficiency in English. So, and the only English the only English test that they accept is the Duolingo English test. They don't accept any other English test that you might be thinking about. They don't accept it. What they accept is Duolingo English test, and you must pass the minimum score. The minimum score that they accept that proves that you can really speak English is 85 points. But you have to try your best to score far more than 85 points. I will tell you the reason as we move on. So now, but for you to meet the requirement, it is 85 points. So this score must be submitted while you are submitting your application. You must submit it to them. You are submitting your application. The Duolingo test is only valid for 2 years. So this means that if you don't have Duolingo test before, you have to go and write it. And you have it before and it's already more than 2 years, you still have to write another one. There's a link in the description of this video that takes you to where you can register for a Duolingo test. If you want to register for it, you can just click the link to take you to where you're going to register for the Duolingo test immediately. So now, Vamia does not provide free voucher for taking the Duolingo English test. You have to go and pay for it. I hope you understand that now. They don't provide any free voucher to take it or something like that. Nothing like that. You have to pay for the English Duolingo test. So then you should save the language test result because you're going to be sending it to Vamia. You're going to be uploading it together during your application. Now, it is also important to know that English test is part of the scoring system. Thus, it cannot be waived from the application. Now, I was telling you that there is one part of I was saying that their scoring system is not disclosed. And I told you that when we move on, I will tell you about a place where you can actually get information about the scoring system. English test, proficiency test result, the Duolingo test in particular, is very important. They don't joke with it. It's part of their major evaluation this thing. So that means that yes, 85 is the benchmark, but do everything possible to score as high as possible so that they can rank you as high as possible in the interview and you'll be invited for the interview because there's going to be an interview later on. I hope you get that now. So as I explained above, Duolingo English test is the only English proficiency proof accepted by Vamia. Other English proficiency tests, diplomas, or qualifications are not acceptable. The cost of Duolingo test, when I did my research about it, the cost is around $59. So it is not so expensive. So you can do your best to apply for it and write it. It is really, really, really going to help you. And make sure that you prepare very well for it and score as high as possible. Now, let's talk about the application period. In Vamia, application period for all the vocational courses varies. Like varies in code, or let me say intertwined. So it is important for you to pay attention to the application period and which course is open. And then Vanya already made some information available about the application period, even from now to 2026. But they can decide to modify it at any point in time. Anytime they feel the information needs to be modified. And so let's quickly go through the ones they have already made available. From today, 8th of April 2025, application is going to be opened for cook and waiter or waitresses. If you are interested in any of those, you can go to the website now and apply for it. So don't worry, I'm just going to tell you how to apply for it so you can understand it. So application is going to open now from today 8th till the 11th of April. That's about 4 days. 8, 9, 10, 11. That's 4 days. Application is open for cook and waiter. So if you have all the requirements already, quickly go and try your luck. Everything is free. So why not try your luck concerning it immediately? So the application has been opened since morning, since 10 a.m. Finland time. And it's going to close on 3 p.m. on the 11th Finland time. Very, very important. Pay attention to it. Number two, November 2025. That is when application will be open for cook, waitresses, and machinists. So for vocational programs starting in August 2026, if you apply to like today 8th till 11th. It is for the vocational program that are starting in January 2026. So if you apply now, you will be starting January 2026. Then if you apply November 2025, you will be starting August 2026. I hope you get that now. Then if you apply in April 2026, that is for cook, waitresses. It is going to be for vocational program starting in January 2027. And if you apply in November 2026, it's going to be for program for and that is going to be open for cook, waiter or waitresses and plates welder for vocational program starting in August 2027. Very, very important. So now that we have discussed the application time timeline or the application periods, let's talk about how to apply to Vamia vocational school. Now the application to the programs in English, that is the vocational programs by in English, is done through the website studyinfo.fi. The link will be in the description of this video. Do where to click it, it take you straight to the website. Just click it, it take you to where you're going to apply. So the forms will be available when the application is open. Like right now, you go there, you're going to see the application forms there. So studyinfo.fi website, that is the website they usually use for the application. I've also been including links to where you're going to get more information about all the information I'm explaining here, where you can get them and study them on your own to be able to understand it better. So then, as I've explained before, the application form will only be available when the application is open. Once the application closes, it will no longer be available again, and you can only apply to one program taught in English. You have to choose one and focus on that one and apply to it. That one program that is taught in English. You cannot apply to two programs at the same time. In fact, doing that is going to lead to disqualification. So just choose one program and apply to it. Then, beautiful, like I've said before, there is no application fee. It is free. So try your luck. Since it is free, if you have all the requirements, try your luck and apply for it. Then, after accessing the application page, fill out the form accurately. Fill everything that they are asking you to fill them accurately. Upload all the required documents. I'm going to see everything there that they are requesting from you. So, and make sure that you submit the application before the deadline. It is very, very important that you ensure that you submit the application before the deadline. Don't go and forget to submit. It can be disastrous. So now, after you have submitted the application, about 40 to 50 students per program will be invited to interview with the team. So then, after that, after the interview, if they invite you for the interview, that means you are really, 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 really highly ranked among the applicants. And the probability that they will get you has already increased to about 50%. I have to get that now. So during the interview, they would they would finally select 20 to 25 students per program. Do you get that now? So after that, admission results will be released 2 to 3 months after the application deadline. So after they release the admission results, they will send admission letter to all the selected students. Now, that admission letter will contain information about your health details, and then how to apply for your residence permit. Those are the major things that will be in the admission letter, and then the course we offer, and the study period, and that is all. And that is basically the essential thing that will be in the admission letter. So the admission students are expected to start applying for their residence permit immediately. Whenever you notice that they pick you like this, you are not paying school fees, nothing. So you must just go straight and start applying for your resident permit with the admission letter that is sent to you. So then you visit an hospital in your home country to get the required document, because they'll be requesting for some document to prove your health status. So So you visit the hospital to ask to you meet a doctor in the hospital and get all the documents. So those documents you have to send them to the Vamia school nurse. Vamia school nurse. So those documents usually includes the statement T, doctor statement T, and then your X-ray result. You don't need to send the X-ray photograph. In fact, the X-ray photograph is not required. What they are requesting for is the X-ray result. That is what they indicated here. So and then so that is basically how to to apply. So now let's talk about the requirement for residence permit. Uh, there is a link in this video actually that you can easily click that will take you to the immigration website, the Finland Immigration Service website, where you can see full details about the immigration and the requirements. But just to summarize the requirements, they'll be asking you for international passport, the admission letter, proof of funds certificates, that's the document showing the amount of money you have in your account, then health insurance certificates, and then the resident permit application fee. That fee is around 450 euro if you apply online, and it's about 550 euro if you decide to do paper application and you submit it physically. And then passport photographs. They will be asking for passport photographs as well. So make sure you have as many as required, and then study the website and get the specifications of the passport photographs. And then they will also be asking for birth certificates. So birth certificates and then parents guardian consent if your age is below 18 years. So birth certificate and parents guardian consent are for people that their age is below 18 years. So then you may be required to visit the embassy for your proof of identity. So they tell you to bring your passports and you go there and you present yourself. After you have done everything about the resident permit submission and you've met all their requirements, the next step for you to do is to wait for their decision. So to begin your study 2 months before the resumption, they will send you information about resumption and about the start of the study. So make sure that you program your resident permit application in such a way that you resume as early as possible before the resumption date. You understand? Very, very important. Then first week of the resumption is going to be for orientation and then practical information of how to operate, how to move around in the vocational school. And then this vocational school will give you appropriate work uniform, which you will be using to do everything you are going to be doing over there. Then students in restaurant and catering services shall be required to go through the salmonella test. It's part of their health test. They will repeat it over there when they get to Vasa. So I have come to the end of this video and I am very, very happy that this video is informative and engaging from the beginning to the end. I believe that this is a very great opportunity that you should pay attention to because it is one of the cheapest way to migrate to Finland and many people are using it silently. So get your DUOLINGO test result, which is like the major thing, and submit all the documents that are required and try your luck. You might just be lucky and get it. So especially if you score high, very, very high in your DUOLINGO English test. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'm super happy that we have been able to achieve this together. I wish you God's favor as you apply to Vamia Vocational School in Finland. Thank you. I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.